have a look and see who's in my green room tonight. We've got some great guests. First up, he is an unstoppable comedy force of nature. Probably my favourite stand-up of all time. It's Lee Evans.
Lee, how you doing?
This evening, we are also joined by one of our finest actors. She starred in shows from The Rag Trade to Doctor Who to EastEnders. If that wasn't enough, she's also now a top author. It is the wonderful Sheila Hancock, ladies and gentlemen. Sheila, so lovely to see you again. You're looking glam this evening. Next up, we have a true national treasure. I'm only saying that because I know he won't like it. From Oasis and High Flying Birds, it's Mr. Noel Gallagher. Bringing a little bit of Manchester sunshine into the studio. And also on the show, the star Fresh Meat, Bad Education, and probably my favourite stand-up of all time, Mr. Jack Whitehall.
There he is.
Okay. And we have music for you this evening. A terrific band doing a great song from the evergreen Boyzone. Okay. Some of them are stuck in traffic. Let's play a game. Which ones are stuck in traffic? A woman in Gloucester phoned the police this week. It's a true story. She phoned the police because she reported this. This was what was bothering her. She phoned them to say her neighbour's cat was, not making this up, her neighbour's cat was giving her a strange look. That's why she phoned the police. Now, if it was a mouse making the call, I'd understand. How can a grown human being be worried about a cat giving them the evils? And I thought, this is just nonsense. Until then, I did a bit of exploring, entered cat, bad stare. This is what I came up with. I can see why she was... That's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger cat, isn't it? Give me my whiskers now. Get to the kitty litter. OK, look at that one. That looks like a bat going to a party in a fur coat, doesn't it? OK, found some more. Oh! It's Deirdre Barlow. No. I think, Noel, that one's giving you the beady eye. OK, let's get my first guest out, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? On stage, he has played to more than 2 million people, which makes him, by my reckoning, the most popular comedian in Britain. Ladies and gentlemen, please go crazy for Mr. Lee Evans! Would you like me to open the window for you, Lee?
Cheers, you got a bit... you got a bit of dirt on this side.
Come on, get... How are you going to... Come through here. This could end badly.
Oh, I'm stuck.
Ready? I'll get... OK. Here. OK. OK. Oh, OK, I got you.
I got it. There we go. I've got it! I've got it! 4 in a row!
Connect 4. There you go.
Connect 4. I didn't know you had it. Fantastic.
Go and sit down, Lee. It's great to see you. I'm
nice
exhausted.
To see you as well.
Come on.
Why is this such a long couch? What's the point in this? Who's going to sit here? Can't hear a thing you're saying. What's the point in that, for crying out loud? You see, like this couch, it's funny when you go and buy a couch, isn't it, you know, because you you never actually try it out for all the things you're going to use it for.
Well, no.
You know, in the shop, you sort of go, it'd be nice if you and your missus walked in the shop and went, yeah, I like this, yeah. Hold on a minute. Yeah, just a minute, love. Yeah, it's really, yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I was just getting dressed. I was just getting changed. Do you know what? You should put an extra bit there, because there's no... I was just getting... It's funny when you're putting your jacket on. You can put it on by yourself, but as soon as someone tries to give you a hand, you can't find the sleeve. Can you hear me from here?
I can hear you from there, but
Great.
I think you should move closer, because otherwise... No.
I always do that when I'm in a restaurant with my missus. I go, can I have the bill, please? Can I have the bill, please? I don't know why you ask for the bill like that. You don't order it like that. You don't go, I'll have the chicken. I'll have the chicken. I can have some chips. You don't do it like that. Oh, dear.
There we go. You see, that's why I like having him on.
Oh, I can't see.
So I can just relax. OK.
I'm exhausted. I haven't started yet.
All right, Lee.
No, you first.
How have you got the energy?
No, energy.
You've been on tour for how long?
That's just amazing, isn't it?
That is really quite something.
Amazing.
How are we doing this? It's almost like
Alec,
you can read my mind. I don't believe it.
That's amazing.
It's an incredible gift you have there.
Here.
I sat on a banana. You see, why aren't you doing it now?
You see?
I was trying to catch you out. You tricked me.
No, you see, I go to church, mate. I go to scripture readings on a Sunday.
How long have you been on tour for? Is it a year? Almost a year?
What's the matter? I've got my hand stuck in it. No, yeah, it's about a year. My wife's getting all prepared for Christmas at the moment. Yeah, so she's bringing Christmas trees and all that into the house. So she's got this Christmas tree off the bloke down Pitsea Market.
Yeah.
He always says the same thing. No, the needles will stay on. The needles, they won't drop off.
Yes.
As soon as we put it in our lounge, push. Yes. Yeah. Like, but even the tree's embarrassed. She's doing like a comb over, you know.
So what do you get her? What are you going to buy your wife? Do you have an idea? Because you've got to get something nice. How long have you been married for now?
30 years.
Wow, really? Is it 30 years? 30 years. That's incredible. 30 years. Congratulations to both of you. That's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, it's a long time. I don't know why they make the bride wear the veil at a wedding.
Why not?
Well, what is that? So you don't know it is until it's too late? What's the point? Yeah, we've got married as kids. We've been married a long time. I love her very much.
But you still talk about her in the act. She's never been troubled by that, because you used to talk quite a lot about her. So
yeah, I know. I shouldn't do really, but I can only write what I see and what I hear. So I write about stuff that's at home and all that, you know. Like she like the other day, she gave me the ache because she went, she goes, "Are you going to get me a Christmas card for Christmas?" And I went, "Oh, here we go, because it's get me one with wife on it. I want one with wife on it," like she's forgot who she is. And get me one with nice words. Get me one with nice words in it. And I'm like, oh, have you heard? And I was reading the card. I was in the card shop, and it's like, you are my autumn. You are my breeze. And I'm like, I can't give her that. But she is standing there, crying her eyes out, reading it, going, that's the nicest word I've ever read. The thing is, if I actually said that to her, she'd think I was a plonker. You are my autumn. Oh, get out, you idiot.
OK, so, and you've got a daughter. How old's your daughter now?
She's 20.
So is she in a relationship? Has she got a partner?
She
How do you get with him?
She's with an American guy. She studies in America. Yeah. He's really cool. We've got to go and visit his parents at Christmas.
Oh, so you never met his parents?
No, not yet. Okay. No, I'm terrified. So wait till they get a load of us.
Yeah. Well,
we'll knock on the door. Yeah, the drain's around the back.
Are they in show business? Are they anyway?
No. I don't know what they do. Listen, I'm a very insecure person anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do when I go around, because we still eat with our hands. So, we're going to go around the house. Oh, man. And because he's American, they try and be all cool, you know. Hey, Mr. Emmons, how you doing? You know, it's all that boxing shit, you know. You know, I'll try and catch him out, but I do other sports. I go like, how you doing, a bit snooker? Catch him out, you know. They go out, oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God. Yeah.
OK, but are they going to get married? Do you know what their plans are? Is it taking it slowly?
Hey, easy, fella. Yeah. No, they're not going to get married. No, not until I say so.
Oh, OK.
Yeah, no, I hope not. That's a bit... I mean, she's only young. She's still studying.
So when you married...
you know, I miss it when she was young. I used to love my... When she was young, I used to take her down the park. And do you ever... When you was a kid, you know, you used to... Them springs.
Yeah.
On the... You know that thing? I used to love them. Have you ever seen a fully grown adult on one of them? lovely things.
They were fun, yeah?
Oh, they were great. Yeah,
you should get a big one. I'll get you one for Christmas.
Oh, they're great. Aren't they? They're such fun, you know.
Well, let's talk about you a little bit, Lee, OK? Because I think
yeah.
you are, well, you're a remarkable force of comedy. We've just seen that here. You come out here and you've just blown everyone away.
I'm just nervous.
Well, no, but it's great. You're incredible what you do. But the energy you put into your performances, and now you're what? You're 50, is that right?
Yeah, I'm 50, yeah.
Wow, so you know, for a man of 50 still to be doing that...
I tell you...
yeah. Incredible. Oh, yes.
Yeah. I tell you, I'm getting old. I'm freaking knackered, man.
OK, let's have a look. I want to show you something because if you've been enjoying Lee here, Lee's been on tour and he has a DVD out and it's called Monsters.
Whoa.
Starts with a song and dance routine, which you're very good at. I thought you'd be playing it for laughs. Is this an ambition of yours to do this kind of...
Yes, it is, yes. I like dancing. Yeah, I like dancing, you know. Certain dances I don't do.
OK.
Anything revolving around the hips, I can't do. I'm sorry.
No, I do. I like dancing.
I know. I want to interview that guy more. I like that guy a lot. Yeah. Right, let me show you a kit. This is Lee Evans. It's called Monsters. It's non-stop laughs. It's out right now. Look at this.
Have you ever had your wife nick your chips off your plate? You be in a restaurant with your wife, she orders the Gwyneth Paltrow Biafro fucking skinny salad, and you order the chips. Worst thing she can say, oh, this is nice, taste that. Oh, I see what's fucking happening here. Because next it'll be, what's yours like? Oh, fuck, you want a chip? And once she starts, that's it, wave goodbye to them fucking chips, mate. It turns into trying to eat your chips on the end of the pier at the seaside while fending off frickin' seagulls. She's on the other side of the table going, ah! Fuck off. At the end of the meal, she goes, do you think them chips are fattening? Not for me, I didn't fucking have any, did I? Is it finished?
Now, so genuinely, you don't like to watch yourself?
I don't like it, no.
So what goes through your mind when you watch yourself? What don't you like about it? Because you can see it's working.
It's like Halloween.
No. You don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you're moving?
No, I don't. I think that's probably why I went into comedy, because I'm a bit sort of self-conscious. I'm a bit nervous.
You must surely, though, be thinking, you've been on this huge tour, I know it ends end of November, and it's, you know, you sell out the huge stadiums. If you've seen Lee live, you know, you can't go and see Lee in a small place, apart from when you're trying out the material, because you're so popular. But the energy you must, and the effort you must put into it, how much longer do you see yourself doing that for? Do you have a game plan?
This
do you
is
think
it?
You can keep... No, really?
Finished?
For real?
It's the end.
No.
Yep.
I wouldn't have asked if I'd known that was the answer. You're not going to tour anymore?
No, not doing anything.
Wow.
This is it.
Wow.
Yeah, finished.
What's made you think
Well, my manager died last year.
No, he did. That's not a joke. He did, so really, so that was like a moment where you're getting laughs on that.
Yeah.
That's why we can't let you go, you see.
No, that's why it's a good thing, because he used to manage a lot of comedians, so if he got a laugh, that's fantastic. So, and sort of, I suppose, really, I don't know, I haven't really, to be fair, I've been working, I mean, I started off cleaning toilets, right, when I was a kid, and I've had loads of jobs, and I've just kept working and working and working. My dad always said to us, you've got to work. So I've just continuously worked and done comedy, toured, but I've ignored, I think, for far too long, my missus. And I want to spend a lot more time with her.
Oh, wow, that's what a lovely thing to do. So, certainly then, for the time being then, this is kind of your farewell tour that you're doing.
This is it. Wow. I ain't doing nothing. I'm going to go and see my wife. I'm going to give her a big hug and say, I am yours. And I know what'll happen in a week. Get out! You're getting on my nerves. I know she'll do it, but I've said to her, look, love, you know, I'm really sorry that I'm always away. I'm a nightmare to live with because I'm always working, and I love her very, very much.
Well, what a lovely thing. And, you know, the sensible thing there, of course, is you're right, because no one ever thinks it's going to happen to them. And you mentioned Addison, your agent, and he was 53, wasn't he?
Oh, he was a great bloke. I mean, he's a complete nutcase. I mean, he used to say to me, actually, he said, every gig I ever did, and he used to get me round the neck and he'd say, Lee, this is your Wembley, right? This is your... And then one day, we played Wembley. And he knocked on my dressing room and he went, Lee, this is your Wembley. And I went, Addison, it is Wembley.
It's everybody's Wembley.
Yeah, and he went, oh, yeah, we're at Wembley.
Yeah.
How about that? So, you know, I started off with him... You know, I was just a kid, you know.
But he was, I mean, he looked after a lot of big people in show business. He looked after Lee, he looked after many big stars you would know, like Alan Carr, Michael McIntyre, Jack Dee, many other people as well. Yeah. But I always got the feeling that the two guys he was closest to were you and Jack Dee, because he'd known you all along. And I thought, you in particular, you had a relationship which was, even though you were essentially the same age, it was a bit like a father and son relationship. Yeah,
and I think because I am the way I am... sorry to get serious.
No, it's...
But the reason I am... I'm very... if you meet me in the street, I'm very polite. I'm very well-mannered. And I'm not very strong as a person, so I can't push myself. I'm not an ambitious person. The reason I'm sat here today is because I'm sat here because I'm sat here. What I mean is, I'm busy doing nothing. But I've arrived here. I haven't asked you to come on the show. People asked me to do a film. I didn't want to get a film. Yeah. They asked me to do an arena. I didn't want to do an arena, and I've just ended up here. All I've ever done is work. And so and Addison used to put his arm around me and said, don't worry, it's all right, I'll look after you. Oh, it's OK.
Oh, man. But there will be, I'm sure, I mean, there will be offers. People will say, OK, you know, often when a band breaks up, for example, these days I think we're all quite cynical and we assume we'll see them again. You know, it used to be when a band broke up, you'd be oh, my God, my favourite band's gone. Now you break up and said, 5 years' time, let's get the tickets now. You know it's going to happen. I sense that isn't the case with you. This isn't you saying it for effect. This is a genuine decision you've made.
Yeah, I want to go and see my wife. Yeah. I want to go and... She deserves my time. I've been working solidly. You know, I'm a nutcase to live with.
I don't know if you know this, but she's planning a big tour next year.
Yeah. The tour has been incredible.
But, you know, the lovely thing, of course, as well, with your daughter, you know, with a young man, who knows what will happen with that, but this is a time in life when, who knows, they might start a family, and you can be there for them as much as you want to be.
I want to be there.
Which is a rare and lucky experience for someone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, every single week I've been doing, like, you know, I've been doing plays and stuff. And
I've never known someone graft quite as solidly as you.
Well, I've always said to little Mo, I'm sorry, little Mo, I can't go to the school play because I've got to do this work or so and so, so and so. And then now I can go, yeah, let's go and be with little Mo. Yeah. Let's go and be with Hev. Let's go and do the stuff that we never did when we were kids.
Well, I hope that you will still find time to come back and entertain us on television with appearances like this whenever you have the time, whenever you're in Clation, because I'm going to keep asking. So...
I love you very much. Thank you, Jonathan. You're a really good bloke.
Mr. Lee Evans, ladies and gentlemen. Stay here, stick around. We'll stay with Lee, ladies and gentlemen. Lee Evans. Still to come on the show, ladies and gentlemen, Sheila Hancock is going to join us, Noel Gallagher and Jack White will be here, and there'll be music from Boyzone, so don't go away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, Mr. Lee Evans is still here, but let's get my next guest out. She is a star of stage and screen with a stellar career that spans an incredible 60 years. Will you please welcome the lovely Sheila Hancock? See you. Thank you for coming. Yay. Lovely to see you. Come on in. You know Lee, of course.
I won't get you cold.
He doesn't want me to do that because I've got a cold.
Oh, well, thanks for telling me.
I just want to say, I was working with this bloke last year, and when Addison died, he was devastated, and he didn't miss a single performance.
Wow.
He was absolutely amazing, and he's so talented. He'll have plenty to do when he retires.
Oh, yeah. I think the retirement is there, yeah.
He can play the piano, he can sing, does everything.
Prostitution?
We used to go out, didn't we? And we were both of us saying, we're going to give it up. We're going to give it up.
Pack it in.
We've got to have time to ourselves.
Yeah, you said you first, because you're crap.
But, you know, here's the thing. You
I've worked all my life as well.
Yeah, but I know, don't worry. No one's accusing you of being lazy. It's not a competition.
It's not a job centre in here,
I know how he feels, but he has been saying that quite a lot.
Yeah, well, I think it's because of that turning point in your life. But you show no signs of slowing down at all, or are you taking it a bit easier? What are your plans?
No, well, I've got to that age where I have to think I've only got a few years left. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's a cheerful show tonight.
No, it sounds depressing, but when you're past 80, then you know that you've got sort of 5 years of active life, 10 years at the very most.
These days, with modern advances in medicine, 11.
Well, 11 years. OK, 11 years. So you have to think quite seriously about what you're going to do with those years.
Time is a very, very precious commodity.
Absolutely.
Is there, without wishing to be morbid, but do you have a list of things that you want to achieve? You said that you're making some plans.
No, I want to live adventurously. I want to do all sorts of exciting, new, wonderful things. I'll tell you one thing I am beginning to do, which is quite interesting, is listen to pop music. I've always hated pop music. I'm sorry for everybody, especially Noel in the dressing room there.
Well, Shane's there as well. I mean, we should just, you know...
Let me tell you.
But Sheila, are you saying you pick Noel up? You mean his music in particular you hate?
I love his music. I love his music. And I'll tell you why. He grew up, amazingly, on the same estate as my husband, John Thor.
Yes, I heard.
In Burnage.
Wow.
And we were talking about it before we came on. And, you know, it's really fascinating because they all have that amazing, real aggression, don't they? The Gallagher boys and my husband in Sweeney, you know, and I love it because a lot of the modern pop kids, they pretend it.
Yeah.
They do this sort of thing and you're supposed to think it's exciting, but they genuinely... No, isn't he attractive, isn't he?
Yeah, I must admit... That's the first time anyone said that about Noel on the show here.
No, he really
It's an irresistible mixture of aggression and beauty.
No, he's actually a sweet, gentle thing, but in their work, they have a genuine rage.
Well, so you...
He's got it as well.
What?
He's got it
What did I do?
That sort of underlying, disturbed anger.
OK, let me ask you about your writing. When I first met and interviewed Sheila, it was non-fiction you were writing. It was a book about you, about your life, about dealing with life after John.
Yes.
And now you're writing fiction. Now, that's quite a brave leap, I would have thought. Why make the leap from non-fiction to fiction?
Well, because I was bored about writing about myself. I'd done 3 books about me and John and various things like that. And they suggested that I should try a novel. And to begin with, I said, oh, no, I can't do that. I'm a bit like him. I'm totally inadequate in my head. Darling, what I meant was I feel inadequate.
I love you, don't worry. I tell you, we're like a freaking double act, me and you, I tell you.
Anyway, so then I thought about it, and then I thought, yes, I will, I'll have a go. So I've written a book, which is a novel.
OK, well, I've started it. I'm enjoying it tremendously. I love this period of history anyway. Miss Carter's War it is. A very interesting lead character. Now, how much research do you do and how much do you just make up?
Well, it's taken me 4 years, actually, research, because it's about a woman who was in the resistance during the war. I mean, I've lived through the 40s, the 50s and so on, but I had to research them and remind myself of them.
I tell you what I love about it in particular is the fact that you... And it reminded me that so many women took such a crucial part in the war, both officially and, you know, fighting the resistance and so on. And then when the war ended, they were asked, or told, rather, to go back in their boxes, to go back to being second-class citizens sort of thing. And that's one of the things she struggles with, of course.
I think a lot of people found their voice during the war. I don't think it was just the women. I think everybody, because... in the forces and in the factories and evacuated as I was, you mixed with all sorts of people. And so people came out wanting equality, genuinely. And out of that came the welfare state, there came national health and that wonderful Labour government. And things changed enormously. And I think it was because people wanted the world to change very badly.
Would you consider getting behind my friend Russell Brand, who is calling for revolution?
You know, I think it's very good what he's doing. I mean, some of it's a load of old rubbish, but I love somebody standing up and being revolutionary. That's what young people should be. And I know he's not that young, but to me, he's a baby. He's a baby. And I think we should be angry. Be angry and want things to change. That's what he wants.
I think the two of you running on a ticket together, I think that would be a very attractive proposition. You know, a lunatic and someone to calm him down. That's what we need.
Well, I'm not that unlunatic.
No, I'm sure you have your moments. What's the wildest you've been recently? Do you still have a late night? Do you still like a drink?
Oh, I like a drink. I like a drink, but it's mainly on my own, which is really worrying, isn't it? No, we don't. I mean, like him, when you work... No, but truly, we went out a couple of times, didn't we, during the show?
You took me out, and you were drinking, what, meths?
On the way back.
You didn't...
But you don't have much time for recreation. If you're doing a show, you've got to keep yourself fit for the show.
That's full on. What about, though, when you're not doing a show? You've never sort of wanted to start dating again, have you?
Oh, well, I went out with a guy and I thought, yeah, I'll make an effort. And all my friends were saying, go on, make an effort. And I started doing the thing of being nice and lovely and hopefully attractive. And suddenly, halfway through, I found myself thinking, have I put on the electric blanket? And I knew. I thought, no, I now have got to the age when I'm more interested in my electric blanket than I am some boring old git.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's it. That's it. That's the moment when you know. It's been lovely having you on. Lee Evans, of course, but ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Sheila Hancock. Sheila, thank you so much. That was lovely. I won't kiss you again for the cold. Still to come after the break, Jack Whitehall will be here, Noel Gallagher and Boyzone will be performing their newest single, so don't go away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. OK, it's time for my next guest. He has been voted King of Comedy at the Comedy Awards, which is fitting, as he is also, in fact, I believe, 8th in line to the actual throne. It's the terribly funny, terribly posh Mr. Jack Whitehall. Gorgeous. What a handsome young man. Wow. I like the whole casual, very casual approach to the show. So that's a nice, it's a good look for a younger man.
Yeah, I thought it'd be casual for you this evening, Jonathan.
You're very casual. Well, you are. It just occurred to me, you are, of course, the youngest person on the show.
Yeah.
Well, you must be used to it, because, of course, I'm sure you've seen it. Jack works quite a lot, and it's very nice of him. He works with the elderly. He works with his father.
Yeah.
You work with your dad, Michael. They do it's sort of a talk show?
It's sort of a talk show, but with him sort of heckling me from a chair. It's such hard work. The hardest thing about it is you come out and you do your jokes at the beginning, and you've got a lovely, smiling audience in front of you. I do my jokes, and he sits right next to the auto cue where you're reading it. So I do a joke, and I look over, and I see his face. That's the only time he's smiled in the last 60 years. Like, his natural face at rest, normally, is the face of a man whose bollocks have just hit a hot bath. Like, always. So every joke, I look over and it's...
Well, but you get on OK? Is the working experience OK? Because I imagine that would be tricky, because you're a professional comedian. He's a funny man, but he's not a professional.
No.
So how does that work?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's just a nightmare to work with. He's really, really hard. We do, like, script meetings and come up with ideas for the show. We were doing a writing session. This is genuinely true. We were doing a writing session the other day, and I had my laptop out, and we were going to do some research on the guests, and I told him to open a window, and he opened an actual window. I'm not making that up. He is that backwards. But he started just getting into technology as well. It's amazing. He's, like, in his 70s, and all of a sudden, he started using emoticons the other day.
Now, these are the things on the phone, like emojis, they call them as well, don't they?
Yeah,
so it's like a smiley face?
Yeah, the little faces
or
that,
hands
like...
clapping.
Yeah, that, like, 13-year-old girls using their texts. Yes, I don't text 13-year-old girls, no! Shut up! I was saying that to explain what they are. I just meant it's like, it's not something that old men use. Okay. Stop making me... Shut up! So he uses these... Stop it. He uses these emoticons, but he doesn't know what any of them mean, so he just throws them in willy-nilly.
So give me an example.
The worst one ever. He sent me a text which should have been, like, a fine text to receive, but it was the most harrowing thing I've ever read, because it went, "Dear Jack, are you coming over for Sunday lunch? Your sister's going to be there. Winky face." What's your plan?
So, you were at, and this is I would have thought quite a big thing, but you did the Royal Variety performance just a couple of weeks back. And it's going out on TV in December. It hasn't been seen yet. Was this your first Royal Variety? Have you done one before?
It was my second Royal Variety. It was the first one with William and Kate.
You went to school with her.
Yeah.
And I believe you referred to this in the performance.
Yeah.
Now, what did you actually say?
I referred to her as the one that got away. And then I flirted a little, because I said that she was one of my first crushes at school.
And was she?
Yeah, yeah. And then in the line-up, William came over and he was really funny, because he was very nice, but very passive-aggressive. Oh, you flirting with my missus? Oh, no, it was very, very funny. That's him going, yes, I can have you beheaded. I will. So that was quite... And I was also stood next to, you can't see her in that picture there, I was next to this lady called Demi Lovato.
She's a big singer in... She was in Frozen as well, wasn't she?
She was in Frozen, yeah.
Okay.
She was very nice, very sweet, but American, and didn't necessarily buy into my sense of humour. She was coming around, and everyone's very nervous when the royal family are coming around. She asked me what the protocol was with the royal bump.
Oh, yeah, because there's another baby.
Can we talk about, you know, the baby and stuff? And as a joke, I said, the Duchess of Cambridge, I think, would be offended if you didn't have a little feel. As a joke, she takes it completely at face value, and as Cambridge is coming along the line, I suddenly realise that we've got a situation here where either I need to step in and tell her that it was a joke and look like a complete dick, or potentially Demi Lovato from Frozen is about to get taken out by a police marksman. So I'm told.
OK. So, but you call her Kate. So you did know her at school then? But she was older than you, wasn't she?
She was a lot older than me. Okay. She was a lot older than me.
But so you just admired her from afar?
She was in sixth form. It was never going to happen.
But were you...
I was in a head brace. It was...
Were you popular with the girls at school? Did you have a string of young friends? I didn't mean it that way. What I mean is... Were you popular? Because often because you're not a bad-looking guy now, OK? And you make the most of what you got. But I wonder... A lot of the time, comedians, you know, they have to use their sense of humour to get friends, and I wondered if you were one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I was, you know, always trying to be the clown, because I thought that would endear me to people, and it was my way of sort of making friends. But no, I wasn't... I moved around quite a lot of schools as well. My dad sent me off to boarding school.
Oh, that's a... Well, now,
when I was like...
Some people love that, though. Some guys I know who've been to boarding school, they turn out... And you think, you know, from some of my background, I think that seems like a very cruel thing to do to a child who's 6 or 7 or 8. But a lot of the guys I know who went to boarding school, they wound up loving it. So did you enjoy the experience?
Not when I was 8. No. When I was 8, I wanted to be at home with my mummy. Oh. But eventually it became fun, you know. But, I don't know. No, I wish they had kept me at home for a little bit longer.
Because you have brothers...
Why didn't you send me away, Daddy?
Because you were the only child they sent away, weren't you?
No.
So Jack has also just finished a huge arena tour this year.
Yeah.
Is this your first tour on this scale?
Yeah, yeah.
So how did you find that with the big audiences?
Well, it's intimidating, and doing it in those big venues is certainly an undertaking. And so you know, you look at other people that have done it. Like someone like Lee is a perfect example of who to look up to. Because look at, I mean, Lee is a legend, and you watch Lee. you watch Lee in those arenas, and he does shows that look like they deserve to be in a venue of that size.
Well, he knows how to work the stage, and he uses his body. It's physical, and it's all those things.
Yeah.
So, you have a DVD out. Let's tell people about this, 'cause it's very funny. This is Jack Whitehall Gets Around, live from the Wembley Arena. This is out on the 24th of November. Let's have a look at a clip. This is Jack live at Wembley. Get yourself a copy. This is very funny.
This is what happened to me the other day. I'm on the phone to my mum, my lovely, beloved, saintly mother, OK? And I need to go for a slash. So I do the right thing. I'm like, Mum, I'm really sorry. I've got to go. I will call you back later, all right? I pressed hang up. Everyone see that? I pressed hang up, all right? I go into the toilet, right? I unzip, I start having a slash. All of a sudden, I hear my mum's voice. I look down, I realise, apparently, I hadn't pressed hang up. I had switched it to FaceTime. Oh, my God! I was now live streaming my mother a video of my pissing cock. She was just like, make sure you wash your hands. I was like, ah! Looks just like your father. Shut up, Mother!
Whitehall, very funny young man. Hey, Jack. Once again, I was talking to Lee about... He talks about his wife and his act, but you talk about your girlfriend, Gemma, in the act, who's also an actor, and she's very successful. Do you run the material past her first, or you just do it?
Well, sometimes. There's a couple of stories that, you know, sort of tales from the bedroom. That makes it sound so illustrious. It's not. It's smart. There's one story that happened to me. Although Gemma always says that if I say it on stage, I have to say that it happened to a friend of mine. So, basically, a friend of mine was having sex with Gemma. And it's about my posh voice, how my posh voice is not good in the bedroom. Because it's not, I don't think this is a sexy voice, and I don't like talking in the bedroom. I think that sex should be a swift, silent and clinical procedure. No need to talk. And it was a moment of panic, and I was doing the deed, and I finished. And it was the least sexy thing that's ever been said in the bedroom. I finished, and I heard myself out loud going, oh, well, bravo.
That is the worst.
It's so
that is the worst.
No, it's technically not the worst, because I told my mate, and he said he was drunk once, and as a joke, as he finished, he went, Dan on. It's made me worse.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack Whitehall. That's a very funny story. That's great. Very funny. Jack is going to stick around, ladies and gentlemen, but after the break, we'll be joined out here by Noel Gallagher, and we've got music from Boyzone, so stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest out. He was the genius behind Oasis. He's now coming with his new band, High Flying Birds. He's a music legend. He's a global superstar. He's a very funny man as well. It's Mr. Noel Gallagher. Noel, thank you so much for coming back on. You know Jack. You met Jack, I believe. Good to see you here, Noel. It's exciting to have you back on the show. Thank you for coming on.
Pleasure.
Let me ask you about what's going on. What's the most exciting thing for you right now? What's the thing that engages you most and you enjoy most about your work?
Just the work itself, really. I don't really... I like touring, I like the writing, I like the recording, I like doing stuff like this.
I came to see your gig. High Flying Birds is so good.
Amazing.
Absolutely hammered.
I know. The first night I ever met him, he was absolutely shit-faced. He was just in the back of a taxi going, no. No. And I was going, I like Jack Whitehall. He's so working class, isn't he?
Let me ask you about your life now, then, because I get the feeling that you're more comfortable now with where you are and what you're doing. You've got more time to yourself if you need it. You can, you know, you write and perform when you want to, but you're not in that kind of big tour grind. You don't have to do videos and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I've still got to do videos.
You still make a video?
Yeah, I hate them.
What don't you like? I would have thought a video would be a fun thing.
No, it's awful. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I feel bad for the video directors because they're kind of trying to do their best. The last video I make, hopefully we're not going to show it here.
We are. We've got it here. Right. And I thought that you would like us to show it.
No, it's awful.
Is that the one you did on the Wrecking Ball?
It's awful.
So who comes up with that? If someone comes to you and said, we want you all dressed as dogs or we want you swinging on ropes, you know, are you open to new ideas?
I hate them, but I didn't hate them as much when I was in Oasis because it was all about Liam, so I'd kind of be scowling at the back. But do it when it's your own and they kind of... I'm all right until they say action, and then I just think, fucking hell, I can't stand it. And I feel bad for the directors because they come in meetings and they say, well, do you have any ideas? And I always start by saying, look, two things. I fucking hate doing videos. I hate doing them. I don't want to be there. And so, you know, give it your best shot.
Well, let's have a look. This is the new single, In the Heat of the Moment. It's from the album, which isn't out until March. The album's going to be called Chasing Yesterday, is that right?
Yeah.
You don't like the title of the album now?
Dreadful.
Okay, but who came up with that, then?
I came up with it.
Well, then,
I always leave it till the last minute. And in one of the lyrics in one of the songs, it says Chasing Yesterday. And the minute I said it, I thought, God, I fucking hate that title. That's awful. And I kind of stuck with it now. It's dreadful.
So the album's called Chasing Yesterday. It's a title Noel hates. And here's a clip of the video that Noel hated making. Noel Gallagher track. It's catchy, it's memorable. It's a great track.
Yeah, the track's great.
You just don't like that video?
I don't know, I've just said this, but I hate all videos.
last time I interviewed you, we were talking and I said, would Oasis ever play together again? Okay. And it's not the be-all and end-all, because I love what you're doing now. So I don't feel... when you guys first split up, I felt very sad about that, because I'd never seen you perform live, do a whole gig.
We were brilliant.
Yeah. And then I thought, OK, well, it'd be great if you got better together. And I asked you, and you said you wouldn't get better. What you actually said to me was, you said, I'll get back together with Oasis on the day you go work for the BBC again. Now, about 3 months ago, I did some work for Radio 2 again.
Right.
They've asked me to do some more.
Right.
So, are you a man of your word?
Does that mean I've got to get back? Does that mean I've got to reform the band?
Everyone expects bands who split up. I was talking about this earlier on. They do expect bands to come back together. And it's not an embarrassing thing. It's a good thing in many ways.
S Club 7, they've just reformed. And there was a lot of beef between Joe and Rachel in that band.
Yeah.
So, you just need to get down and you need to talk about
no one
things.
ever thought they'd get back together.
Thrash it out.
But you seriously, you just don't see... You don't see the appeal, or what?
I don't see the appeal. I don't see it. If I close my eyes, I don't see it happening. That's not to say that it never will, but, you know, I've got a lot of things going on.
Not for the time being. Are you speaking with your brother at the moment?
Not at the moment, no.
What's the problem between you two? It can't all be on his side.
No, there's no problem. There's no problem. Because we don't speak to each other, so there's no problem.
No, let me ask you about your personal. When you gave up drugs quite quickly, didn't you? You decided to give up cocaine, and this was, what, 10 years ago?
It was in 1998.
OK. So, and how hard was it for you to do that?
It wasn't... It was easy.
Was it really?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a... I'm very disciplined. I just thought one afternoon, that's it, I'm bored now. And then I realised it was just like, this is actually against the fucking law.
So the whole time you'd been taken up to then, you thought it was legal?
No, I just got bored. I got bored. I got bored of talking about the pyramids and aliens and the Beatles and who shot JFK. Do you know what I mean? It was just like I'd exhausted every avenue of conversation.
And how will you tell your children about... What's your plan to keep them away from that kind of thing? Because, obviously, in some ways, you don't have a leg to stand on.
People say that all the time. They say, well, what would you say if your kids come in and say, what child is going to walk in and say to their dad, yeah, Dad, I'm just going to get out, I'm going to score some weed and do some fucking ecstasy. What do you reckon?
You know what I mean, though? It's like you want to lead by example, which I guess you're doing right now.
Well, I'm afraid the internet is a window to all sorts of nonsense for kids, so you've got to let... we plan, me and Sarah, to let them find their own way in life, and when they get... If they get... I'm sure they won't, because my kids have got their heads screwed on. If they ever get too close to the edge, you pull them back, don't you?
Yep.
There's not a great deal... There's not a great deal that you can teach children that they'll be corrupted by the internet.
So how old are your children now? Anais is 14.
Anais is 14. I see that you invited her to your Halloween party again this year and didn't invite me.
Well, no, she turned up with some people who I didn't invite either.
Crash, didn't she?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, she's 14
she
now.
She said to me, actually, she ran at ours and she said, I've been to Jonathan Ross's party. I said, did he invite you? He said, no, he just turned up with Kate Moss.
By the way, don't just all turn up, OK? No, how sort of tapped into the modern world are you? You obviously use the internet, so on and so forth.
Well, yeah, I know what it is. I use public transport.
Can you drive? Do you have a car?
No, I don't. No, I'm not part of the problem. I'm part of the solution.
So you like using... So if you go on the tube...
Yeah, I've been on the tube.
I know you... But no, I know you've probably been on the tube, but do you go regularly on the tube?
Yeah.
But it must be weird for people seeing you on the tube, isn't it?
I've been accosted, I think, twice in about 10 years. Okay. And once was to be asked directions to Buckingham Palace. And another... Recently, another guy shouted down a carriage, "Oi, don't just get on here like that on your own. Don't just do that to us, mate." I'm only trying to go on.
He felt let down somehow.
He was kind of just shouting, "Don't do that, mate, come on." You know, as if to say, you're better than this. What are you doing? But, I like the tube. It's a historic little weird thing, isn't it? You should go on it.
Yes, I've been on the bloody tube.
He writes with the drive up the front. Could you just stop a little bit earlier for me?
Take me to Kensington.
Noel, if ever you do want to get back together with Oasis, you know I'd like to be front and centre, but in the meantime, I want to come and see you live. You're playing some gigs coming up, aren't you?
I'm not playing till March. It's already sold out, so I'll probably get you a ticket off.
Well, I think you owe me one.
Yeah. Sorry?
Well, I think you owe me one.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you do, because your daughter gate-crashed my party. I think I'm entitled to gate-crash your gig, don't you? Great to have you. Thanks for coming back on the show, ladies and gentlemen. The album's out in March. The single's out right now. Noel Gallagher. And, of course, Jack Whitehall over there. Thanks to both my other guests this evening so far, Lee Evans and the fabulous Sheila Hancock. Next week, here on the show, I'll be joined by Barry Manilow, who'll be chatting and performing, Philip Schofield, Sarah Millican and James McAvoy. But now, with Tracks of My Tears, which is one of my favourite Smokey Robinson songs of all time. It's one of the UK's biggest-selling boy bands. Here they are. It's Boyzone.
People say I'm the life of a party, 'cause I tell a joke or two. Although I might be laughing loud and hard, deep inside I'm blue. So take a good look at my face. You see my smile looks out of place. If you look closer, it's easy to trace the tracks of my tears. Yeah. I need you, need you. Since you left me, if you see me with another girl, seeming like I'm having fun. Although she may be cute, she's just a substitute.